And welcome to the sixth Digital Dragons. We are slightly delayed, so without taking much of our next speaker's time, Mr. Hirokazu Yasuhara. Welcome to the stage. Give big warm applause.
So, hello. Yasuhara-san is known for, well, a lot of things. He's one of the kind of great unsung design heroes in video games. He's the designer of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, Sonic R, Uncharted, Jak and Daxter 2 and 3, Jak Racing, just all of these amazing games. And this is his first time giving a talk in English. And, and it's, so, you know, that he's the focus, but I'll be up here. My name is Brandon Sheffield from Necrosoft Games, and I'll be asking him a couple of questions as we go, and then opening up the floor to questions afterward. But ultimately, this is his design talk about how to make games fun, and it's amazing because it's an actual methodology instead of just some stupid idea. So let's begin.
All right. So thank you for inviting me to such a great, convention. So I'm really glad to be here. So, okay. So my name is Hirokazu Yasuhara, and I'm a game designer. So today I'm sharing my method how I design fun for games. So, okay. So I've been working for game industry since 1989. So far, I've worked in these companies. And I've worked on these titles so far. So mainly, I like to make action character games. So let me talk about this game before I start today's main subject. This is before Sonic was born by Oshima-san. So this is my concept sketch of the Sonic 1. So
I just want to point out, nobody has ever seen this before. Just be aware of that.
Yeah, I use the kind of characters at the beginning. So.
Can we go back one?
Okay.
Can you explain the bridge?
Too much.
Too much.
Too much. Okay.
Explain the flipping bridge and why you decided not to use it.
Because the Sonic speed is getting faster and faster, so Sonic can jump over the small bridges and small seesaws. That's why. So we canceled that kind of idea. So yeah, it's changed, during the game,
right.
Development. So yep. And that one is very rare item of this is the original, Green Hill Zone level maps. So I only have the copy of that. So it shows how I design the levels. So I, drew all enemies and rings, positions, and items, and how enemy works. Kind of
and how did you move from this graph paper into code, giving it to Naka-san, etc.?
I make this map, and also I made some, the specification document for the enemies, how big is the enemies, how fast they move, that kind of information. Also gave to the programmer and the artist.
And most of your design work was done on graph paper, right?
Yeah.
Since it was 2D, it made a lot of sense.
Exactly. Yeah, I just really cut and paste, on the paper. So let me talk about the Sonic 2 a little bit. So why there are many unused levels in Sonic 2? So I wanna answer the question in this opportunity. So this is an unused map idea sketch for Sonic 2. So I intended to use it for level select scene, but I couldn't. So green here, ocean wind, yeah, the scene. So please compare this map and the last map like that. So it changed, right? Yeah. And you see that this part now two, now number two. So and the level is changed too. It said ancient time, and there is a shrine at the center of the map, right? And some big tsunamis coming, and everything gone, so like that.
So with those, were they supposed to be like hub worlds, kind of like where Sonic would move from place to place?
Yeah, that one. So it's like a Mario 3 type of things. So
But that got cut.
yep. So as you know, the Sonic 2 was planned as a time travel story. So yep. Present time, the Eggman escaped by time machine, go back to the medieval time. The present time is changed, the Sonic travel back to the ancient time by using the hidden shrine. So back to the ancient time. And the future is changed again, then the last battle into space, yeah.
And was this idea created before or after Sonic CD, which also dealt with time travel?
I didn't know what Oshima-san did at the time, so I planned that one. But development schedule is very tight, and we couldn't make the full game in 8 months. So I changed the story, rewriting, and some levels were trimmed off. So that is the answer. So, so thank you. So back to the talking about the fun. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Okay. So there are a lot of games in the world that each game has a reason and a secret of fun. And so we need many know-how to create games, of course. So for instance, that we have just building the materials, we can't build up buildings. We need a design of it, right? So we can't make games even if we have many assets and tools.
Not without a designer.
Yeah. So game making also needs a blueprint that is comes from the knowledge and experiences. So feeling and experience of fun is invisible. So, however, these designs are not visible. So those knowledge tend to be forgotten, even it exists, right? So let me share how I make fun. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna tell you the 3 stories. One is human habit. So logic I use 4 categories of play and human emotion. Let's start from that. So I'm gonna tell you about the habit that equipped with human beings unconsciously. So human eyes are naturally attracted to moving things. So human's eye tend to pursue moving object, ball, rail, aerial cloud, and the borings, golf, car, driving, and something, and the insect, animals, especially some airplanes, smoke trail, whatever. Yep. So people's eyes are attracted to moving things. Next one is find the differences. So I will go unconsciously to those that stand out. So red buttons, yellow and black stripes, and dangerous places, flashing things, etc. For instance, so people recognize unique things. It's easy to find which one is smaller or something. And also compare and sort in order. And find the same shapes easily. And if you use scattered object, you see the scattered object you want to line up. Yep. Yep. The third one is the nervousness about being restricted. Yep. Or like timeline, time limit. It doesn't mean anyways, but always bad. In game, it works in good way to rise up excitement, and something extraordinary would happen. So time limit, narrow area, very high area, and forced uncontrolled automotion, the exam on competition, and any weathers, and dark areas, mist, invisible things.
And how do you decide when these kinds of restrictions are bad versus encouraging the player and helping them want to do more?
It's a difficult question. So what I said, it's kind of the balance is very important, So for who you are making games, so it might be the best answer for that. You play with your kids, so you never throw the very hard ball to the kids, right? So it's kind of things. So take care of your players. So.
Right. And you were telling me that you don't necessarily have to kill the player, just
yes.
Put some pressure.
So you shouldn't kill the players, So I think, moving and uniqueness, restriction. So maybe there are more human habits exist. So I think you can find other examples. So those are the things people tend to recognize unconsciously and get nervous at the same time. It means those issues attract human interest very strongly. Yeah. Okay. Second one, the Roger Caillou's 4 categories of games. So, okay, let me explain something. So, Johann Huizinga wrote a book, Homo Ludens in 1938. He said, play is the primary formative element in the human culture. So, Roger was inspired by him. So, about 20 years later, he wrote a book. So, Man, Play, and Games. So, in the book, he, distinguished 4 categories of games. So, this category is competition, chance, role-playing, and vertigo. So competition means, experience of comparing with others. Of course, it's same as sports, changing the sports. Chance is the, gamble, dice and mechanics. And role-playing is the theatrical play or whatever, Halloween, something. It becomes a performing arts. And vertigo is speed, falling, the rotation, swing, balanced, It's a large-scale, extraordinary, the theme park ride, that kind of things. So when I saw these 4 categories, so I thought, how can they be applied to real things, the video games? So I came up with some examples for myself. So question. There are 2 slides. So which one do you like to play with? It's very easy. Elephant, yes. Why? It has a role playing, and so I think some story is emerged in the kids or your mind. So the scenario that ride on the elephant back will be in a savanna in Africa or something, and it makes kids feel like riding on the real elephant. So they saw at the zoo or something. So it encouraged the fans more. So, and the second one. So which one is, of course this one. It has the vertigo. So vertigo, its height makes it feel that dazzling by itself. So I feel, challenging to climb and I can look at far away from the top. Yeah, it's accompanied by a sense of the euphoria and versatility. So I would feel the dizziness when looking down. Due to the up-down change in the slide, you can also enjoy the dizziness there. How to make it more attractive slide? So if I put water on it to make it a water slide. The water slide make the speed up and give you a dizzy feeling. Then we will set up a fountain which shoots water randomly. So by adding the element of the chance, play will be added such as not getting hit by water, is have a chance. So how to make a more attractive slide? Of course, the last one is a competition. So adding the many lanes and the people can slide at the same time. And I think these elements are certainly included in the play, and the 4 elements works very well as play gimmicks.
And how much of your own design philosophy comes from these 4 elements of play? Have you been using that for your whole design process?
Yeah, yes. I always, looking for these 4 elements. Does it have one or not? So.
And I'm curious, did you read this before you made the first Sonic game?
Actually, yes. But at that time, I couldn't imagine what can I use that. So, but I'm getting, understand all that it means. So,
right.
Yeah. So the last one is human emotions. So currently, it's analyzed where the emotion occurs in the brain. So place where the emotion occurs. So this is the brain stem. And this one is cerebral limbic system. So if you open your palm and finger and grab your thumbs inside of that, so your thumb is this red part, it's very deep of the brain. So, and outside is the cerebral neocortex. So the red part, stores the long-term memory, and the blue part is the short-term memory. So the fun, scary feeling is occurred in the red part, and the blue part is very, the rational evaluation, like math or that kind of things. So interesting. So how do you stimulate feeling of fun? So it can be said that if there is a method to cause emotional feeling in this cerebral limbic system, fun can be made. I will look at why the feeling of fun will be born. I had told you people are attracted to moving things. So people unconsciously pursue the moving things. So when you find something that is moving, you unconsciously forecast the next position. Or it might be go this, and he get a result, and forecast again, and get result. So repeating forecast and result. You know. So when this guy, want to get something, flying birds or something, he get recognition. I want this, desire, it happened. So, and he can calculate or, forecast the position of that. So he did the practice, and if he get it, he get a good result. The forecast, then practice after concentration of obtain result. That's, the stimulate the emotions. When the tension of concentration is released, feeling is occurred. Also, the sudden unexpected incident stimulate feelings because, if you get surprised, so brain loses the concentration needed for the forecast and result. That means that chance and vertigo, they are very deeply, related with that, things. So I think fun works for all human beings beyond any culture and boundary, no border. So game is global. So that's why I can talk about that in here. So basic structure of the game experience that I think is first recognition and desires occurred, goal and intention, the forecast, imagine the result, the tension is occurred, the try it, and the practice, if he get a result the same as forecast, it's matched, so tension is released, the feeling is occurs. Then when the forecast matches a result, the tension is resolved, the emotion of excitement and security and joy occurs. So the forecasting practice and the result. This cycle is very important for the games. So it's important to keep giving goal to players, to let them come up with solutions. Yep. So this cycle is, relieve the tension is the structure of game experience. Yep. So kind of a summary. So to make a desire, so create a distinct and clear target, objectives. So using the remarkable object, like a red button, shooting target, etc. And invitation things, entrance, button to push, something invitation. And mandatory, constrictions, such as time limit, enemies, vehicle, etc. And easy to forecast, clear and absolute rules exist. So presence of rules, matching colors, the correct same shapes and order number, etc. The various competitive sports, simulation, so records, whatever. So, and it's possible to obtain the result by practice and action. And it is possible to repeat and challenge. So a world where the certain physical law exists, on the earth, moon, or underwater, any, simulatable environment, and performance of particle practice. So instrument and individual sports, martial arts, etc. Okay, it's time to wrap up. So the fun occurs when the tension is released. So check out elements of play, competition, chance, role playing, vertigo. It doesn't have to be all of them. So some of the element might be okay. So give player times for forecasting to reach goal. Yeah, it's very important. So to keep player thinking, use human habit efficiently. The moving, uniqueness, the restrictions. So that's all about that. Yeah, it's my pleasure to, if this session would be help you to create the games. Yep. Thank you. Jankuya.
So now if there are any questions, I don't know if there are mics for people. Yeah. So if anyone has questions, you can raise your hands. I will start us off as you think of things you might want to ask. But with the kind of the brain thing, where the fun becomes like the part of your brain, the limbic system, right? Mm-hmm. Where you gain fun, that forms by age 4, right?
Age 4, yes.
So the kinds of things that you find fun and scary are all in there by childhood, right?
Yeah.
So how much do you have to think about childhood ideas or children when coming up with ideas for fun and fear and this sort of thing?
I learned that that one. So when my kid is 4 years old, from teacher of the nursery, so don't show the big fire for her, or so you shouldn't close to the barking dog with her, because the fear is stay in your daughter's brain. It is very hard to delete that kind of the memory, because the brain is remember that one. So that's why I understand, or I see the system of the brain. So
right, and it's kind of why these kind of core fears that many people have are all. You can draw on common fears around the world because it's really simple things that scare us when we're children, right?
Yeah. So that's why the feeling is coming from the very deep.
And with tension and release, do you have a kind of time frame that works well for you? Like how long do you want to build the tension before you release it? I'm sure it depends on the game, but if you're in like a larger game where you have many kinds of goals, how do you think about that?
So the maybe player is always should think about the fear, not fear, but tension during the game. So keep what is said.
Yeah. So like there should always be some tension.
Some tension, yes.
Yeah. So how do you do that kind of forecasting? Like for example, you have the smallest tension of can I jump over this gap? But there's a longer tension of there's a time limit, so I need to jump over this gap in the right speed.
Yeah, it's kind of practice, right? Yeah, it's so many kind of the different type of games, So for example, the Mario is very, player have to practice a lot to get to the goal. So but nowadays, some of the the casual game is very popular. Even in Angry Bird, it has some goals and tensions. So it depends on the game, I think.
Do you have any advice for layering tension? For example, in Sonic games, there's the tension that comes from spikes and enemies and losing your rings. But then, when you put Sonic underwater, he can also die from no oxygen.
I'm so sorry to make that.
But when you layer tension like that, even if it doesn't make the player happy, it's memorable. So, do you have any kind of advice about that?
Yeah, issue was something kind of a challenging part in the game. Yeah, I think so. If the game is big, it's necessary. Yeah, I think so.
Any questions out there yet? One in the back there, on the right. And I just want to mention as we go up there that none of this stuff works if your mechanics are bad. Like, jumps have to be really good in order to see and forecast something correctly. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, great talk. I wanted to ask you how you approach forecast in a chance game. For example, when you have a roulette, like you mentioned, how can you emphasize the forecast for the player so that he can practice? Because it's all about chance, really. Then.
So many, the way to do it, what should I? どうしようかな。It's hard to explain in the world,
Do you want to show your project?
This project, yes, okay. So, actually,
If you are you going to show the thing from last night?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, this won't answer the question immediately directly, but this is a great example of stepping through each of the elements from the start, and about the fourth example shows a way to forecast chance which involves some predictable elements and then one big chaotic element.
Yeah, so actually I'm working for Unity now, and this one is the one of the project of the teaching the game design. So as I said, the people watching the just moving ball, even it's kids really like that. Wow, I can make a game. So they said, but. That ball move is also very interesting for that. It's beautiful or something.
Yeah,
so,
now you have different speeds and different sizes. So.
Exactly. So then if I put some cubes.
So now there you've got your...
I get rid of all of this. So it's by chance, It's not always do that, So this one is, very casual games that people love to play nowadays.
So the lesson here is like you have 4 objects doing the same thing every time.
Yep.
But then when you drop the kind of chance chaos element on it, it achieves an unexpected result. But you feel like you can control it because you can predict all the other elements. You're only introducing one chance element.
Yep. So.
Okay, so you focus on learning the patterns and somehow interact with them.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for the talk.
And I want to show you So there is some tutorials, So people said, okay, there are if making the game, the score and the time might be make it games, but it's not so fun to play with it, right? So, but I put some, enemies in it. So player have to run it. They have the reason to run it. Wow, like that. So this one is very important for the game, actually. Run. Give the player the reason to run to get to the goal. So player doesn't recognize, what should I do or something, but just run. So keep thinking keep playing, So that's very important for the game. So that I thought. So this one is also, I miss it, I gonna die, something. So, some tutorial said, it's kind of very bored, to get to the goal.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressures, That's why enemy is very helpful to I have to run. I miss it. So, so that's a game, right? Yep.
Hello, I got a question. You said there's this cycle: desire, forecast,
Uh-huh.
practice, and result. And if result equals forecast, there is the fun occurs. Yes.
Yeah.
How often does it happen? For in example of first-person shooter, is it like every bullet you hit the enemy, or is it when you kill the enemy?
It's
How-
so in the first-person shooters, so many elements is happened at the simultaneously, So hiding behind somewhere, and it's so many complicated things happen. So I think each time it happens, So if player hidden in the back of this some object, it maybe gets success for the one in things. Of course, when player shoot the enemy, it happened, the things. So that's why multi-layer is, what
So
it's called. Yeah.
It could be more than one cycle at the time. That's what you mean, yes?
Yeah. So many, so many body says. So many things, happen simultaneously, So that's why some very complicated, feeling is happened and make it fun.
Doesn't it become kind of a user interface problem at that time because you have the feedback of shots coming at you, the movement of your character and where you're placing it, also your shots reaching their goal. There are multiple forecasts happening at once, so you have to show the player more things, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions in the audience? Down there?
A lot of your game designs, like Sonic and Uncharted and such, at the start of the game, you have all of the abilities that you're really going to have for the entire game, and really then you're putting them into situations. And is that a core idea of your design, that the player can always do everything at the start, and then it's really putting them into these situations that's the fun for you, or?
Sorry, to stop.
Like say in Uncharted, you can already jump and grab things, or like in Sonic, you can already do the spin dash and stuff like that. And then really, it's later you're using it and learning why it's good, or
わかった？
ちょっとわからない。
最初からパワーは全部集まった。パワーとかはない。メトロイドと違うから前から本当にキャラクターはキャラクターです。
全部持ってるか。
全部持ってる。そしてゲームの旅の中、地上に変わって
グラブで、OK。
もう持ってるパワーを使うのような質問です。でどうするそのようなゲームの作り方は
Yeah.
So we're just
Thank you.
we're just
Yeah, I
explaining
totally
that.
understand. Yeah, I want to, understand clearly. So okay. Yeah, but the game designer have to, think about the whole, world. You have to design from the beginning. Yeah. So because, the game designer have to think about the schedule of the project. So, yeah.
Right, but when making a game where you have all the powers, how do you make that interesting? Because it's easier to say, level 3 you get this new power.
Yeah.
Level 4 you
like
get
like a
this new
Zelda, right?
yeah, like Zelda or Metroid.
Uh-huh.
But when you're making a game like Sonic 2, where you have all the powers pretty much at the start,
Yeah.
how do you give players new excitement?
So of course I want to, make the kind of, things if I have the schedule, because Zelda, the kind of game is so tough to make it because each stage, player, can do the new one. So that means that new game gimmicks have to, be set it in that. So of course, game checker have to check it with, so it depends on the, the size of the game, I
But
think.
from a design point of view, isn't it kind of easier to think, okay, I don't know what else to do, so I'll add a new gimmick?
New gimmick. Yeah.
It's almost harder to make a game like Sonic 2 that's interesting from the beginning to the end with no new gimmick
No gimmick.
along the way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's like your style is way more difficult to achieve successfully.
Yeah, because like in Uncharted, you can jump and shoot and climb.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah, that's it.
But you have to make it interesting forever.
Yeah, Uncharted is very, simple mechanics because, player can get power up by using the weapons, that's it. So, yeah, so it's not my, pleasure things, it depends on the, because I don't have enough, skills, that's why, so I designed that type of game.
Right. So the limitation
makes
you
so
have to design your world more.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love to do that. Yeah.
Do we have more time?
One more question.
Okay. One more question out there.
Hello.
Hello.
And thank you for the whole talk. I have one question. Have you ever applied any sorts of rational game design to your work, like applying numbers to control pacing and difficulty to hit that sweet spot between challenging the player but not becoming too frustrating, or giving a lot of vertigo like pace, but again not too much to frustrate the players? Have you ever applied numbers, or you only prototype and you rely on iterating until you hit that sweet spot?
So the question is have I make
The question is, do you have numbers for difficulty and chance and vertigo, or do you do trial and error? I'm trying this and odds too difficult, I dial it back.
It's difficult. Yeah, I always change some, some design changes during the project, usually. It, depend on the what is called, focus test or something. So actually I make the tons of some puzzle element in the Uncharted, but in the focus test, the people don't like that. So the company, cut off all the kind of the elements. It makes it more linear. So, yeah.
So more iteration
More iteration.
and less
Iteration.
like number-based
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So the market, if market is different or market doesn't like that idea, so yeah, I could cut my ideas and keep it to the next project or something. So,
Okay.
Thank
you
you.
everyone. Thank you, Yasuhara-san.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.